Wonderful. Good morning. Today is Monday, June 6th. We normally would be starting at 9 a.m. It is 10 in the morning, and I want to thank everybody that has been with us and been patient, and all of our board members, especially the board members that had to hustle and be here so we could have quorum. I really appreciate this. This is the Cosmetology and Barber Examiners Board meeting. This is a regularly scheduled meeting. The agenda and links to connect through Teams as well as watch live have been posted on the website, and the agenda was posted as of Thursday, June the 2nd. So the first thing I will do to get us started is do roll call to assure that we've got quorum. And if our board members that are calling in can also say they're here, I do believe we still have quorum in person to get us started. So Chairman Ron Gillihan.
Here.
Vice Chair Becky Russell.
I'm here.
Thank you, Ms. Russell. Judy McAllister. Ms. McAllister is not here. Patricia Parsons. Thank you. Mona Sappenfield. Amy Tanksley. Frank Gambusa. Mr. Gambusa is not with us today. Anita Charlton. Thank you. Janie Ross. Dr. John Cagle.
Here.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. Monica Lemons. Ms. Lemons is not with us today. And I have a pleasure to say we have two new board members, and so I will read their names on the record. Ms. Jeffrey Moran. Thank you. And Ms. Kimberly Ray. Thank you. I want to welcome them both. We're very lucky to have our new member as a master barber representative on the board, Mr. Moran, and Ms. Kimberly Ray is our new natural hairstylist representative. Thank you both. And to our members, Ms. Yvette Granger received her thank you notice. As you know, her term had expired a while back, and she was awesome to continue coming and help and do school inspections, and so I know she will be very much missed. Chairman Gillihan, I'll turn it over to you for a minute if there's anything I missed.
Thank you, Roxana. Just like to welcome our guests here in the audience and recognize that Genesis Career College from Cookville is here with us, and our other guests in the audience. We typically recognize our schools, so thank you for being here on this unusual morning, but here we go. The meeting has been called to order. Roxana, I believe now, if we're in our regular agenda, we would move to the approval of the 2022 April minutes.
Correct. Thank you so much, sir. The minutes for April were emailed to all the board members. If there are no amendments to be gone to review, then I would need a motion and a second to approve the minutes as they were distributed.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Ms. Patricia Parsons and a second by Ms. Mona Sappenfield. Because we have quorum in person, we will not need to do roll call vote or worry about Ms. Becky or Mr. Cahill on the call. So, Chairman Gillihan.
We have a motion that's properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is legislative updates.
Thank you. And for that, we'll turn it over to our attorney for the program, Mr. Hugh Cross. Hugh?
Yeah, good morning. I have a few updates for you here. The second set of rules is the rules regarding equipment sanitation. These rules give the executive director authority to waive certain equipment requirements. These rules are still under internal review. There's a couple more folks to go through, but my goal is to have the rulemaking hearing at the next board meeting. And as for legislation, Senate Bill 2754 is the one bill worth mentioning here. There was an amendment for this bill. The original bill was a caption bill that increased the number of years an individual had to complete all courses and hours to become licensed as a barber. And this has been amended now. Amendment 012 931 requires the board to issue a new license as a barber instructor to a licensed cosmetology instructor so long as they have completed 300 hours in a registered barber school or collection regarding the fundamentals of straight razor shaving and barbering technique. And the same on the other side. The board is also required to issue a new license as a cosmetology instructor to a licensed barber instructor so long as they have completed 300 hours in a licensed cosmetology school, learning the fundamentals of cosmetology technique and pedicuring. And
Good voice in. So the 3 years waiting period is still what an individual needs to obtain that first license. So if you're going to become, and it's only cosmetology instructors and barber instructors and the other way around, not the smaller disciplines. But when you obtain your first one, you still need the 3 years. What this does is for the second license. So as an example, Chairman Ron Gilhan is a master barber instructor. If he was to decide to apply for this, he wouldn't need to get the cosmetology license first. He would simply get the barber instructor license with no additional 3 years.
And
Yes.
thank you for that. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to
what was
answer.
that Senate bill number?
It is Senate Bill 2754, House Bill 2697.
Does that go into effect July 1st? Am I
It's
correct?
July, yep.
Okay. So we will probably send out information to the schools for sure. And then anyone that signed up through Get Notified to let them know. But internally in our office, we'll have to figure a way to get that second dual license to make sense and work. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Might need the amendment number. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's 012931. So the original bill is a caption bill. It's not going to have a lot of information, but the amendment is the bill. So, and that's all I have for legislative updates.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you're okay, Chairman Gilham, I'll proceed with our appearing before the board, and these are our school applications. So board members, we will start on your presentation that's on your iPads, and this is under the presentation document. The first school is Goshen School of Cosmetology. This is a change in location. We have on the call Ms. LaTanya Williams for her to answer any questions you might have. This school is located in Memphis. The application, enrollment agreement, and floor plan were timely presented. With a change in location, of course, the floor plan is the main document. If they've changed catalogs or anything else, they present those, but I believe you have everything that she's updated before you on the iPads if you have any questions.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. A question I normally ask, just for my curiosity, is: are you moving a great distance? Is this going to be an inconvenience on your on your students?
No, it will not be.
Okay. Did you make any significant changes in your documentation other than updating your addresses to be and so forth?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. Those are the only questions that I had.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any other discussions or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
Roxanna, will that need board inspection?
No, not for a change in location. We've normally just done the board member inspections for our brand new schools with no history. So this would just be a field inspector doing the inspection, if that's okay.
Perfect.
Motion carries. It's approved.
Thank you. Next on your iPad, starting on page 9, we have All Aspects Barber Styling Shop and Beyond. This is a new barber apprenticeship school. Ms. Sharon Wilson is on the call to answer any questions the members have. This school is located in Memphis. The new school application, curriculum, blank enrollment agreement, catalog, floor plan, and contingency plan were received timely. Chairman Gilhan, I'll turn it over to you. And I made some notes on our new document in case we're missing anything. But again, Ms. Wilson, thank you for getting on the call and being available to us.
Thank you.
Hello, Ms. Wilson. Thank you again.
Good morning.
As I was reviewing your application, I did have a couple of questions, some things that I just could not locate. You may already have it here. Is this just strictly an apprentice school?
Yes, sir. It's strictly an apprenticeship school.
Okay. So the square footage would not
Not
would
relevant.
not apply.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Can you tell me, Ms. Wilson, I may have just not been able to find it, where I can find in your application your grounds for termination of a student?
Yes, sir. That would be on page, I got it right here.
The catalog has it on page 29, and I'm not sure if she has it somewhere else as well.
19 also.
Page 19.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
let me
you.
look here.
Thank you. I should have printed it out.
Just a moment.
Okay.
In your documents, Ms. Wilson, I was not able to locate an acknowledgement that the student had received a complete copy of the enrollment agreement. Can you tell me where to find that, please?
Okay, the enrollment agreement is at the front of the documentation. Let me scroll. I apologize. I'm trying to. On page 5.
Page 5 of your document, okay.
Eligibility requirements for enrollment. And it's page 1 of, it's page 5 of my document, but it's page 1 of the things that were put together before, like the fees and all of that made it end up being on page 5. But do you see it?
Well, I see.
Says all aspects, Master Barber Apprenticeship School Student Contract Enrollment Agreement, and it's got right under all about aspects apprenticeship school eligibility requirements for enrollment, and the contract. Okay.
Chairman Gillihan, on our iPad, check page 25. That
on R25, okay.
Yes, our R25, it says, please print and sign below, indicate that you have met the requirements. I think that first signature is what you're looking for.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, her page 13. Yeah.
Her 13.
Okay, our
Correct.
page numbers are different.
No, it's your page 13. What he was looking for and what you had found are two different things. He was looking for, on your page 13, that signature part.
Okay, I
we're good.
apologize.
No, you're good.
Thank you.
Ms. Wilson, in your contingency plan, could you kind of explain that to me just a little bit, please?
Okay. If in fact the location for some reason has to close beyond our control, we would then go online. I am going to set up an account with with teams, and that way I plan to do that anyway if in the event that students want some tutorial beyond the hours that they're going to do in person, because I like to offer that to my students because I know that they will be working adults. But in the event that something catastrophic happens, we would then do classes online.
Right.
No different than I had to do with my students in high school
Sure.
when the pandemic first happened.
Thank you. When I was looking at your item 8 and item 9, it just appeared for a moment that you were strictly looking at the student attendance, but I do see foreclosures up here, so that's just fine.
Okay.
Okay. I also had a note regarding your curriculum here. Let me get over to that. In your curriculum, I believe it appeared to me that you were using somewhat of the the textbook description.
My lady.
Okay. So I'm looking at your curriculum, and this is on our page 33 for your board members. Of course, you're listing the 1,500 hours, 750 and 750 for the apprentice. That's fine. But I'm not seeing a breakdown of your hours for the state board curriculum listed anywhere. If you could just kind of tell me where that is.
Right here for the breakdown of the 750 theory hours and then the practical hours.
Right.
That's on my page 25, if I'm not mistaken.
Page 25.
Yes, sir. And I have it also listed, let's see. Yeah, page 25, but I also have it listed.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Wilson, I'm looking here on your page. Excuse me, it's our page 19 for board members. It does list 750 theory hours, but what I'm really looking for is where you're breaking this down into how many general hours, how many physical hours, how many practical chemical hours. Where do you have that broken down?
Okay, I don't have that broken down, sir. I don't. But I have a sheet where I am highly capable of making sure that it is broken down. I apologize for not having it on here, but this is my 14th year as a barber instructor, and I am very familiar with that sheet as to breaking down the chemical hours and the practical hours and things.
Would that be something that she can add and send back to me? And I think one of the issues with the apprentice schools, of course, they still have to teach the same breakdown, but they don't follow it exactly because we need them to test in the theory after 750. So your apprentice students are going to learn the breakdown a little bit differently. But and so I didn't emphasize that she copy and paste it. That's on me as well. But if the board members want to see it, I can make sure that she adds that. Because I was looking at this breakdown of the 750 and 750 as meeting the statute. But I think she can add that very easily. Does that make sense, Ms. Wilson? Just on your enrollment agreement, somewhere break down what's in the statute. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But yes, ma'am. And I was thinking on the same terms you were, because when with the apprenticeship, it is significantly different. They do have to do the 750 hours of theory with no practical, no hands-on period. And until they pass the theory portion of the test, they can't do hands-on. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I emphasize that we're only doing book theory for 750 hours and passing the test successfully before being able to go into a shop and do the, before I could partner them with a master barber of 10 years of experience to get the other 750 hours of practical.
Thank you. I think we'll be good with that, Ms. Roxanna, as far as I'm concerned. There is one more note that I had. and it refers to your student kits.
Okay.
And I believe your information says that they will have their barbering kit after passing the theory exam. That's not going to quite line up with the regulation. They have to have something in barbering, I believe, at 100 hours.
And
Okay,
yes,
well,
go right ahead.
yes, sir. Being that it's a apprenticeship program, they cannot do anything with the kit until actually completing the 750 hours and successfully passing the theory portion of the test. So that's why I was giving them the grace of not actually having to need a kit until they go into a barbershop.
I understand that.
And I think we would have that flexibility. The kit isn't addressing. Obviously, if they have it beforehand, that's fine, but they wouldn't really be using it. So if the board's okay with that.
It's absolutely one of
Makes
the things
sense.
that just seems to pop out here at
Yes.
this point in these things, and just
Makes
something we
sense.
need to look at a little bit. Okay. Those were the notes that I had on all aspects.
Ms. Wilson, this is Becky Russell, and I had a question for you about your floor plan.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I just say yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
Okay. It is attached to the front of a barbershop, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there a door that your clients go through that does not go through the classroom? It appears that your clients would go through the classroom and then into the shop. Is there an outside door that goes directly into the shop without going through the classroom?
Yes, ma'am. I have a second door. It's to the side of the shop, but the apprenticeship school part is at the beginning of the shop. And reason being, I do plan to expand at some point, but being that I'm starting off very small, I utilize the space that I have. But I do eventually plan to, move into another location and come before you all again, with it just being the apprenticeship school. But I didn't want to start off really large and get into a financial bind. And then I thought also that it would, being that there was no restriction on size, that it would be really neat to have the students to the front of the building and where they can see over into the shop to envision real world what shop like is like and what it would be like for them once they are able to get to that reality of becoming a master barber, or even the reality of doing the practical side of it once they pass their test.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I just wanted to make sure that the clients could enter through another area. It would be distracting to have clients walking through your classroom if you're trying to teach, so that they could enter in the shop.
Yes, ma'am. And also, my school is going to be, it is, the hours are from 3:30 to 9:30. So the barbers who are there, they generally have they work morning shift hours. And so I don't see it being a problem as well. They're pretty much Thursday, Friday, Saturday barbers, and they do some clients in the morning hours. So the conflict of the scheduling would not interfere with the school at all.
Okay, thank you.
So there's no conflict with scheduling, shall I say? Because the apprenticeship school is Monday through Thursday.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve this school. Is there any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
And Ms.
Thank
Williams,
you.
when you are ready to be inspected, just send me an email, and a field inspector will be doing that inspection. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have, I've lost my agenda. Here we go. Aspire Academy of Aesthetics. This is a new specialty school, and we have on the call Ms. Sherry Jordan participating. This school is 4,000 square feet, located in Memphis. the new school application, curriculum, blank enrollment agreement, catalog and floor plan, as well as the contingency plan were all received timely. Board members, this starts on page 44 on your iPads, and I will turn it over to Ms. Jordan and to Chairman Gillihan. It's all yours.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, and good morning.
While we're gathering our things here, can you tell us a little bit about your school, please?
Yes, sir. It is a specialized school, aesthetics only. Well, and of course, introducing instructor program as well to the area. It is designed to have 2 treatment rooms and a makeup studio separately, and the classrooms are fairly large. They're more of a comfortable setting. They're not your contemporary setting. I have controllable lighting, such as natural lighting in one of the main classrooms, and it's dimmable as well. So I can also create the spa environment in the classroom as well.
Okay.
And it's new to the area. I don't have another aesthetics school surrounding me for a good 30 miles.
Wow. Could you please direct me to the page where your contingency plan is located for teaching out?
Yes. One moment, please.
Board members,
Yes,
that is
yes.
on page 30 on her catalog. I think a minute ago, as soon as I get to it, I'll give you our page, but it is, I found it very clear on the catalog.
Right.
Okay, the contingency again is regarding natural disasters or, of course, license revocation, anything that would be out of my control. The student would have the opportunity to choose for a refund per the refund policy. They may choose also to finish the course. I'm also going to offer the virtual teaching.
Okay.
Mainly in emergency cases. And also I have surrounding schools that also offer aesthetics programs, and I am in good rapport with both schools.
That was one of the things that I had not been able to locate, but thank you. That was very clear. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Much like the previous program, I see that in your enrollment agreements, you have the acknowledgement or you have where the student signs the paperwork. But what I'm noticing is a lot of these don't have that language that says that the student has received a copy of their completed paperwork. Can you tell me where that might be, or if I've overlooked that?
Actually, Chairman, on page 14, it says contract acceptance is the last, and it says my signature below, and it will include the signature or guardian signature as well. And then, of course, the director of the school.
Yeah, it does absolutely say that they've read and understand it, but it probably needs that statement that they've actually received it, because there could be cases where students don't receive documents. Okay.
I understand. Yes, sir. I apologize, and thank you. I will make that correction. Absolutely.
Those were the only 2 things that I had any concern about on this one. Do we have anything else? Curriculum look okay?
I thought it was a well put together presentation. I make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Do we have any other questions or discussion? Okay. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Well,
And
thank you all so much.
absolutely. Congratulations. Great job. And Ms. Jordan, we will need a board member as well as a field inspector. So when you're ready, just send me an email and we'll start coordinating that. Congratulations.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you. You made
Good
our
luck.
day
Yeah.
starting an hour late. This was worth it.
That's
Thank
what
you.
you made it this person.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you all so much.
Let's see
Thank
if you're
you.
still this happy a year from now.
Board members, next on our iPads, we're on page 97. This is Urban Beauty and Barber Institute. It's a change in location for both school licenses. This school has a cosmetology as well as a master barber license. Mr. Tim Burns and Mrs. Penny Burns are on the call participating to answer any questions. The schools are located in Memphis. The application, enrollment agreement, and floor plan were received. And again, with a change in location, it's really the floor plan that changes. So, Chairman Gillihan, I'll turn it over to you.
Hello, Mr. and Ms. Burns. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning.
And thank you for waiting with us this morning. It's a little bit unusual, but we're here. We're doing our work. Your floor plan looked fine to me. I always ask the same question to any of our change in locations. Is this going to create any kind of significant burden on your students? Are you moving very far?
We're in the same building, just one door down.
Wow, that may be tough for them. No. That is generally all that I really need to see with this.
Great, and I make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries, and congratulations. Good luck with this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So much. Appreciate it.
Thank you both. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
and we will
you.
have a field inspector out there as soon as you're ready. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next, members, we are on to the legal report, so I will turn it over to Michael Underhill, who's ready for us. For our new members, if you'll make sure to, at the top of your presentation, click to get to the library, and then you would switch to the legal report, and let me know if you need assistance with this. It's all yours, Michael.
Good morning, members.
Morning.
Good morning, Michael.
As you can see, the complaints have gone up a little bit more from last time. We've gone from 40 up to 76, and looks like about 10 represent. So with that being said, I'll open it up to any questions the board may have.
I didn't listen.
Mike, if you would, could you take a look at case or item number 76, please? That's on our page 26.
Okay.
Was that, do we know what that fraudulent use was? Was it somebody using somebody else's license or, okay. I had noted case 13 on page 5 as well. Do we know on this if the current information on this one reflects 900 hours in that program, or
On the catalog, I did not request if you're asking, did I request a copy? I did not.
I'm not really understanding why there's a complaint here on this one. I know your recommendation is for closure, but the student apparently has the idea that their program is 900 hours when the requirements are 750 for some reason. Is that what we're seeing?
Some schools do require extra hours. But
there are some that have been approved for that.
Yeah.
Apparently they know that on the front end.
Okay.
As part of their tuition.
Thank you. And to Ms. Russell and Mr. Cagle on the call, if you've got any questions, definitely unmute yourselves and make sure that Mr. Underhill can hear your questions to review before we approve the legal report. Thank you.
I did have a question about, it was number 25 on our list. There's consumer complaint about unsanitary conditions.
And what is your question?
I'm sorry. Case number, or our number 25, there was a complaint of an unsanitary condition, and the inspection revealed several unsanitary conditions, but no notice of violation was issued. It's only a letter of warning.
And I may be able to answer, but on the agreed citation, that is the first step. If this is their first unsanitary situation, they do always get a letter of warning. Correct, Michael?
Yes. And are you referring to the fact that a notice of violation was not issued to that individual?
Yes.
Okay. It's my understanding that the inspectors do have some discretion based on what they observe as to whether to take it to a notice of violation or not. And in this circumstance, the inspector did not issue that notice of violation. And so my recommendation would be, since we have pretty specified items here, to just issue a letter of warning, but let them know about each of those regulations that cover each of those infractions.
And Becky, had the inspector done an NOV, then they would have really had two complaints for the same thing, if that makes sense, because the unsanitary condition came up by a consumer, which and then we inspected and found that to be the case. And so opening another notice violation would have given them two complaints. But then the recommendation is exactly what the notice of violation would have done. For being their first time, they would have gotten a letter of warning, and then obviously if this happens again, then that goes to the second level. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You can, yes.
Okay, it's up to you.
Other questions or comments from any of the members? Okay. We would need a motion to accept the legal report.
I'll make a motion that we accept the legal report.
As amended with that one change?
As amended.
Okay.
As amended, yes, sir.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Board members, thank you. We are on to our presentation. Our felony applications start on page 116 of the presentation. I'll give everybody a minute to get to them, and then I will start with our names. You have before you Miss Jennifer Stevens and Miss Erika Goetz. Both were approved prior to the board meeting based on previous approval by the board to allow me to complete the agreed orders and process these and not delay individuals that are joining the industry and ready to work. So in this particular case, on both of the applications, if you'll see, we already prepared the agreed order for the probationary 2-year period as is standard, but you're welcome to review those. Both individuals have already been licensed. So if there are any questions or concerns, please let me know. Otherwise, I would need a motion for both of these. The licenses have gone out. The board's procedure with the felony applicants are to review a letter of recommendation and as well as the statement of what took place. These individuals are out. They're not incarcerated. And so several meetings ago, the board gave me the authority, and if in doubt, I would question and go over the documents with our attorney, Hugh Cross. And so in these particular cases, these individuals met what the board's used to seeing, and they met licensure requirements. So they are both approved. You're approving the felony agreed order like you normally would. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to approve both felony agreed orders. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. And then we have the following names. We have Judah Davis and Taylor DeMumbra. These applicants have felonies within the last 3 years and or are incarcerated. The request is for them to take the Tennessee examinations. They have provided their disclosure of the information regarding the felony as well as a letter of recommendation. The board standard is to do a 2-year probationary order unless you decide to do anything longer. For those 2 individuals, we would also need a motion to proceed.
Make a motion to proceed.
Second.
Motion and a second to proceed with the 2-year agreed order. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. We have no reciprocal applicants, so there's nothing to present there. We have one item left on our miscellaneous section of the agenda, and this starts on page 143 for the board members to review. I can go through the items as you review them. This is a request made by Ms. Joyce Gorka for consideration of hours completed at Tound the Nail Academy of Nail Design online manicure school from Canada. We have before you the syllabus for the school, program outline, and certification information. The board at one point many meetings ago looked at information about this school as well. I believe it was for the full cosmetology online program, not manicure. So the things that I do want to point out is for applicants coming from other countries, as would be Canada, we normally review their transcript, make sure that it is from a school that is approved to teach in that country, and then we put them through the examination process. So this would be no different. When and if Ms. Gorka decides to attend this school, she would have to take the exams here. What she's asking for, though, is she just wants to make sure that those hours would be accepted before she embarks in this path. And if we do, our office will keep track of this curriculum in the school so we wouldn't have to present them in the future if the board's comfortable with that.
Roxana, this is an online school. Do we know if any of their time is done in practical way?
All online. Can I get your button to turn on? Thank you.
Sorry. They would take all their hours online through this program, and then they would be pushed through to test?
When and if she completed the program, we would get the transcript from the school like we would if they were going to school in Egypt, South America, wherever else. We would then, it would show the number of hours, and it is right now a 600-hour program at least. And then she would fill out the application to test with us.
And who's eligible to do this? Anyone, anywhere?
It's an online course, I would imagine so.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you. And I know starting on page 143, she explains why this was important to her, that she really isn't able to go to a school to do any of the hours. So for her, it made a difference to find a school that was exclusively online.
It's different.
Members, if you look on page 153 of our report, at the bottom of the page, it's highlighted on mine that says a live exam is required. So even though they're doing it online,
okay,
they're having a live
the exam. Yes,
the live exam.
Okay.
So,
and she would have to take hours. So.
Mm-hmm. And as I look through the various components, it appears that all of their exams are required. One is to be live. So one is 3 hours, one is 2 hours, so forth.
So for her to move forward, we need a motion that she would be able to, that we would accept those hours so that she could be tested.
And we have accepted them before, and John corrected me, it wasn't cosmetology, it was manicuring. We just hadn't, I don't think, reviewed it to this level before she would start. So we would need a motion to accept this, and then we just have one more thing to cover, because I know one of our members has
I'll
to
make
go.
a motion to accept.
Make us a motion.
We have a motion and a second to accept, and she would be taking the Tennessee test whenever she comes.
Correct.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. And this is our last motion. The only other thing that we have for the meeting is just a quick financial update, and that is on your iPads on page 158. Before we conclude, this shows a surplus of an additional $4,012 added for the month of April. Fiscal year ends in $74,833, brings our reserve to $1,222,581. And that is the last item that I had. Chairman Gillihan, if you have anything else, if not, I know before we lose a member, we would have to go ahead and adjourn.
If there's no further business, we're going to go ahead and adjourn so Miss Patty can leave.
I gotta go back and pick him up.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Ms. Parsons. So appreciate it. And we are adjourning at 10:50. Thank you all for the meeting.
Wait, 10:30.